This week on Gym Right Live, we welcome to the show Layci Nelson, co-founder of the Iron Mortar Summit, to learn about their upcoming event in June and why every gym owner needs to attend this year's event. Spoiler alert, they're giving away a free ticket to the summit to one lucky winner watching this show today. We'll get into the details later in the show, but you can get a head start now by typing the word yes in the comments below. This will put you in the running for a ticket right away. This is the #1 event for gym owners this year, so do not miss out. Doing so will also get you access to the network, which is our free private Facebook group for the motivated gym owners of the world, where you're going to find tons of great conversations, interviews, and step-by-step how-tos of some of the most effective strategies out there for gym owners today. Again, just type the word yes now so you can enter to win a free ticket to the event and to get access to all this great stuff. All right, let's get this party started. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Gym Right Live. I am your host, Marcus Gursey, and this week we welcome to the show Layci Nelson of the Iron Mortar Summit. Absolute pleasure to have you on today, Layci. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So we're going to be talking about something pretty cool today. You guys are doing something really unique for gym owners in the space that really I haven't seen out there before. And we're going to dig into what the event is, how it works. And like I mentioned in the intro, you guys have been generous enough to give away a ticket to one of our audience members or listeners or whoever, if you're watching this on YouTube or podcast, whatever it is here on Facebook, we're giving away a ticket. And that's pretty awesome because this is kind of a no-brainer for gym owners to want to attend to, I think, especially once they understand how this whole thing works. So thank you for being on the show and excited to dig in with you.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so before we get into the contest or the summit itself, or at least what you guys are doing this year, tell us a little bit about yourself and how the Iron Mortar Summit started several years ago.
Sure. Well, I was drug into a CrossFit gym like many people for the first time under a little bit of protest. My little brother drugged me in. And that was about 2015. And at that time, I had just really no concept of what it was other than this thing my little brother wouldn't stop talking about. So I went and tried it, and within one workout, totally loved it. Realized it was a great fit for me and my personality type, and spent some more time in the space and started to realize there were some real parallels between my previous life's work and what was happening in these functional fitness and CrossFit gyms. And so I have a background in nonprofit management and leadership, and I had done that for about 18 years and really got to be part of some amazing things in that sector and building teams and helping people lead these teams and implementing vision. And I really loved the work because it was life-changing. And I quickly realized what was happening inside of these CrossFit gyms and these functional fitness spaces was also life-changing work and really impactful. Right. And so I got a good taste of that. And I had started consulting and helping other people learn how to lead for business in general, not specific to this industry. And I had put on some local seminars, and one of the ones I put on happened to be about interviewing and hiring. I invited Brendan, who was and still is my coach at the time, to attend that and just learn some information. And he came out of that and said, "Oh my gosh, our industry needs more of this information." And I said, "That's great. Let's think about how could we get more of this information to them." And upon about 30 seconds reflection, I'm like, I'm not an expert in this space. This isn't my expertise. However, and also, as much as I might have to offer, I'm not going to be someone that draws people in. However, let's think about how could we get people to the table? How could we build a space where people can learn what they need to learn about opening a gym or running a gym effectively? And we don't need to reinvent the wheel. I'm not an expert. I'm not going to become one overnight in this space, but there's got to be a lot of people who are. So we started doing some research, and within literally about 24 to 48 hours of that conversation, the vision for the summit was born out of this desire to bring together voices of expertise in this industry, and create a platform where like-minded gym owners and people who want to become gym owners can learn. So
awesome. So what happened next? So you guys came up with this concept, and Iron and Mortar is also, there's CrossFit Iron and Mortar, you guys' actual facility, right?
Yes.
And that didn't even exist yet. So
no.
Tell us how this all kind of like happened, because this, from what I understand, is that you guys actually used this concept to say, okay, well, we want to learn all this stuff. Let's get all these people into a room for not just for, you know, for obviously the community at large, but for us. And that inspired a whole nother chain of events. So what happened there?
Yeah, well, we did the summit and had our first summit, and shortly after that, Brendan and Ashley knew at some point they wanted to become gym owners. They didn't know what that timeline was going to look like for them, because he was coaching somewhere else at that time. Knew he wanted to be an owner. That was something that he'd always been very vocal about. Ownership was on his mind, but life unfolded in a way where the opportunity presented itself, and he and Ashley decided we're going to do this. We're going to take the leap. Within just honestly a couple months after the first summit was executed, they took the leap. So they were able to get an amazing head start. So right now I manage the gym. I don't own it, but Brendan and Ashley are in the ownership, and I do the general management role. And so they were able to get this amazing head start for having strategy in place and ideas about how they wanted to run it, and this collective knowledge from this network they built at the summit. So not only what they learned in the keynotes, which was excellent, and they learned a ton, but as equally valuable were the connections they made and the ability to just pick up the phone and say, we're thinking about this. How'd it work for you guys? Talking with people from all over the country who'd come together for this event. So they just had an amazing first year of business because they put in the work, well, to build the summit, and then to do the exploration of how do we now apply lessons people that have gone ahead of us have learned the hard way. Let's avoid the ones we can't. The hard way. Yeah.
I mean, that's doing it the old fashioned way. I mean, to the best version, right? In that, you know, they had this desire, they organized this event for the community. It inspired them to actually do their own gym, right? So to break out and start their own, you know, the Iron and Mortar gym. But what's happened with the whole event now too, I think is really cool. And that's actually why I was so pumped to have you guys on, is because this is a different format than what most people are used to going to. You know, we're all used to going to your workshop or summit where, you know, you're just sitting in this sea of people, you're just sitting there, you take your notes, and, you know, you may get inspired for the weekend, and then you go back to your life, and that's it. Right. And what you guys have done is pretty different. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think one of the things that makes us most different is, as the founders and the people putting the summit on, we're not claiming any level of expertise. We're not a mentoring organization. We don't want to become one. We're learning right alongside everybody else who's attending. So we're applying what we're learning back home at our gym. And the other piece that makes it different is we limit the number of attendees. We cap it at 150 based on tribe mentality, the Dunbar number. We don't want people to come and be anonymous. We want people to come and make real connections with not only the speakers, which we allow a lot of space for connections with the speakers, meaning the speakers are there the whole 2 days. They're not flying in, giving their thing, and then heading out. Oh no.
Nope, I hear you. Nope, I can still hear you. Testing. Layci, you still there? Looks like we may be having some technical difficulties. Stand by, guys. Let's try calling her back. Test. Let's see if we can get this thing to work. Stand by. All right, guys, we're having some technical difficulties. Sorry about that. In the meantime here, let me walk you guys through a little bit more about this while we're waiting for internet to come back up over for Layci. So something that I like about what these guys are doing is they've put together a highly interactive event in that you're not just going and watching the speakers, but like Layci was starting to say, is that the speakers are there. Here we go. Layci, we have you on?
Yes.
We did it.
Yes.
All right. Technology.
Yes, technology.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So I just started to kind of elaborate a little bit on what you were starting to say. So you were saying this is the speakers are there for the whole 2 days, and
Yes.
you're actually getting to interact with them and so on. So please continue.
Yes. So you're interacting with them. They're part of the networking event in the evening. We build in space for you to connect with, not just at one networking, but we encourage the speakers when they're formatting their keynotes to make them interactive. We leave a lot of time for Q&A. So you're going to have a chance in the moment to ask the speakers things that strike your interest, that you might want some expanded information on. And you're also going to have time to interact with the people that you are surrounded with and your peers that are there, like-minded peers. The other piece is we have lunch intensives where we break everybody into small groups of no more than 12. And in those small groups, you're able to sit with your peers with a speaker of your choice. It's based on first come, first serve for choice of ticket sales. And you sit with your speaker for an hour to an hour and a half with this small group and really bring your questions to the forefront about your gym. Come ready to not just take knowledge in, but to work for those 2 days, to work on your gym, to take the inspiration and start problem solving in the moment. And we also have, if you're good at math, you figured out that, there's how many speakers must there be? We have 6 speakers, but we also have additional table hosts and lunch intensive hosts that we bring in addition to the keynote. And those are people that have a wide range of expertise, and there's different focus areas for those lunchtime discussions. So Stu Brauer is going to be one of those hosts this year. He's not keynoting, but he's coming in to host a table. So is Jim Crowell from OPEX. We've got a great list of lunch intensive hosts.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about who you have speaking, because your lineup for your speakers is insane. So who do we have this year?
We've got Chris Spealler kicking us off, and
Awesome.
he's going to warm us up that day. We're really excited to have him. James Fitzgerald is going to be talking about how to define success and pushing us pretty hard in that area. What does success mean? And then we've got Mr. Jason Khalipa. He is going to be speaking on corporate wellness, where he sees the industry shifting, and multiple locations. How do you make that decision? And what do a lot of different things connected to that. And then that's day 1. And
Awesome.
Day 2, we've got Miranda and Julian Alcaraz from Street Parking. I'm really excited to hear what they're going to share. They're going to be talking about building a community through social media. Clearly, that's their whole platform, and they've done amazing. And they're also going to be sharing what they're hearing from the thousands of members that are joining them online, why they're leaving their brick and mortars. So why they're leaving their brick and mortar CrossFits and going with them. And so I'm really fascinated to hear.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to be sitting up real straight, taking some notes during that one. And then Jay Williams from Two Brain Business is going to be talking about working on the business versus working on yourself, and how that to interplay. And then we're also going to be hearing from JP from Brick, and he's going to be talking about the 5 R's. It's a killer lineup. It's amazing. And they're all hosting lunch intensives, as well as our additional hosts for the intensives.
So if I'm a gym owner and I'm interested in, first of all, just learning from these people firsthand, let alone getting to sit down, ask them questions, pick their brain, and network with other people like me trying to do the same, this might be a pretty awesome thing to attend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's, like I said in the beginning, this is a no-brainer. If you're a gym owner and you're like, man, how can I either, whether you're just trying to get started like you guys were when you first did it, and you're looking for that inspiration, that inside track, and getting legitimate relationships established with other people who are already doing it and trying hard, not the people who are just doing it and complaining about how hard it is and, lack of resources. And right, it's all about who you surround yourself with. Right? Yep. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So get yourself around the people who are winning and the people who are doing it correctly, and actually make friends. Right?
Yeah.
And so, you're whether you're a new gym owner, you're someone who's, maybe just in your first few years and you're looking to, progress more quickly, break through those initial kind of startup woes and plateaus that a lot of people experience at, the 75 member, 100 member mark and so on. This is going to be a great place to go. Or if you're a gym owner who's seasoned and you're trying to take your gym from good to great, again, you want to be around the best players. And, relative to what you guys are charging for your tickets, the amount of value that someone would get from this would be 10-fold, 20-fold what they would be paying for a ticket. Which,
absolutely.
Right. So anyone who's watching this, guys, don't be a dummy. Type yes in the comments below. This will enroll you for a free ticket, right? So you guys, like I said, you guys have been generous enough to give us, allow us to do this contest for our audience. Thank you very much for doing so. Let's talk about that contest a little bit. What do you guys, we've got a free ticket to any Gym Right listener or audience member here. How can they go about entering into the contest?
Great. They can go to the ironandmortarsummit.com/Gym Right.
Easy enough, right?
Yep.
So they can enroll there, or they can type yes in the comments here. That's going to put them in there. We're going to be choosing a winner on Wednesday's Q&A. So in case you guys watching or listening to this, we have our private Facebook group, The Network. Every Wednesday in The Network, I do a live Q&A where I answer any gym business related questions, and we also do any big announcements. We'll announce the winner in there. So if you're watching this or listening to this, when you type in yes, that's why it'll not only enroll you in to win the ticket, it'll get you access to The Network where we'll announce the winner. We'll do so via email, of course, as well. That lucky person is going to be making their way up to Portland, Oregon to come and hang with you guys. And actually with me too. I'm going to be there for the whole weekend too.
Yay.
So awesome. So give us a run through kind of like, as a gym owner listening, okay, maybe I'm interested. This sounds awesome. What can they expect in going to this event? What's the experience going to be like? What's the flow? Or I know you said there's like meet and greets and networking things at night. Like, what can I expect coming to this thing?
Yeah, it's in a beautiful space. So you're going to the hotel, the Kimpton Monaco in Portland. It's a nice place to be.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. Looks beautiful.
Yeah, get into a nice space. And it's the first day you check in, you get your swag bag, which, by the way, I've been getting that list of what the swag is going to be. Some value there. So it's starting to get that back from our speakers. All have giveaways for everyone.
Awesome.
Our vendors have giveaways for everyone. So it's going to be exciting to get that at check-in. And of course, your shirt designed by Ashley. They're beautiful. You get your check-in, you get comfortable, you go find your seat, and we have keynote speaker kicking us off. We've got some, the sound is going to be awesome. Beats RX is coming in and is going to run our sound. Nice. And so, yeah, it's going to be a great, upbeat, fun environment. And you listen to your keynote speaker. The other speakers are already there milling around. They're saying hi to everybody too. And then, you listen to your second speaker. We break for your lunch intensive. You go have lunch with the person you signed up for, and you'll know at check-in exactly where you're going to go. You get your lunch, you hang out, you talk, you solve problems about your space that you are really anxious and ready to talk about. We come back together, have one more speaker. First day, you get a nice long break in between there. You get to chill out, check out the vendors. You get several hours to go run around the streets of Portland if you want to.
Good beer up there, by the way. Great beer up there. If you're into delicious beer and good food, it's a good place to be.
Who isn't into one of the two of those things? And then you come back at that evening at the hotel. There's a networking, and the networking will start at 7 and go as late as people want to stay. And we're buying a drink on us that night. So you get your first drink on us and you get to come and hang out. Speakers will also be attending that and just present to
Awesome.
talk.
Oh, I didn't know the speakers are going to be at the networking event.
Yeah, yeah.
Killer.
I mean, we've got a few that are going to be jet lagged, so I don't want to make promises I can't keep, but I also know a handful are already excited about being in the room. So,
awesome.
Yeah. And then after that, that's the end of day one. Whenever you decide day one's over, lights out. And then for day two, there's an early morning workout available at one of the local Portland CrossFits. CrossFit Riveted is going to be hosting, and so you can go attend that if you want to. It's within a mile of the hotel we're at. And then we kick off the next day, same format, second group of speakers, and also a lunch intensive that day, so 2 days of that. And then hopefully by that time you've exchanged a ton of information, have a whole bunch of contacts that you're going to stay connected to, and we see you next year on at the next summit. Yep.
Yeah, and you guys have a lot of exciting things, I know, on the horizon as well. I mean, this is the first of many, and I mean, there's been buzz amongst everyone in my circles already about people attending and wanting to go to this thing, which is actually pretty rare. Oftentimes there's a lot of different things that happen in our space where you hear about it and you're like, okay, you may go because you know someone or someone's dragging you along or whatever. But it's not too often that people are really starting to chit chat, where I'm starting to get text messages and people asking like, hey, are you going to this thing? So I think this is going to be pretty awesome.
Good. I was going to say, even our attendee list starting to get pretty stacked. I'm kind of excited just to see who's going to be in the room. Like, we've got a great attendee list as well. So.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, there are several people I know. We've got quite a few people from the Gym Right community, clients of ours, gym owners, who are going to this thing, who we know are heavy hitters. Myself, Jessica's coming, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to join you guys for this thing.
It's going to be a great 2 days.
Awesome. Okay. So, all right. Question I like to ask everyone. Layci, in one sentence, if you could give one piece of advice to a gym owner, what would it be?
You cannot create something amazing, an amazing gym by yourself in a vacuum. It takes a community, it takes networking, it takes being vulnerable enough to connect and say, hey, how'd you do this? I'm trying to do it better. When you start doing that and reaching out, that's when amazing stuff happens.
Could not agree with you more. Well said, Layci. Layci, thank you very much for joining us today. Where can people find more about you and the Iron and Mortar Summit?
You can go to the ironandmortarsummit.com. You can find us on Instagram at the Iron and Mortar Summit, and on Facebook, Iron and Mortar Summit.
Awesome. Easy enough.
Very
good. Layci, thank you so much for being on. I'm really looking forward to seeing you up in Portland here in about 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Event is coming up here in June, guys. Make sure you check it out. Enter into the contest to see if you can win a ticket. And at the very least, check out the ironandmortarsummit.com and buy yourself a ticket. I want to thank all of you motivated gym owners out there for joining us today. If you are interested in getting free access to our private Facebook group, type the word yes in the comments below so you can get access right away. Also, if you'd like to watch the show live, you can join the conversation every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on the Gym Right Facebook page. Thanks again for your support. Now get out there and build something that matters. We'll see you again next week. Bye, Layci.
Bye.